Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Is Richmond Raceway America's longest short track or its shortest super speedway? Either way you look at it, Richmond embodies the characteristics of both and is a rocket-fast challenge to every driver who competes on the 3/4 mile oval. Racers from the Craftsman Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series find that Richmond requires both power and handling. To win here, you've got to have it all. Richmond Raceway started out as a half-mile dirt track on the Richmond Fairgrounds, first hosting races in 1953 under the name Strawberry Hill Speedway. 68 years later, and 4 track configurations, there are now 51,000-plus grandstand seats, 40 luxury suites, and since 1991, many of the events have been held in the evening under the lights. Tonight, it's race number 9 of the ProSim Racing Alliance, and it's next on Track Limits Network.
Is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Richmond Raceway, race number 9, season 1 of the ProSim Racing Alliance. Getting ready to start the playoffs here tonight. Race 1, round 1 of the playoffs. Let's look at those race details. 150 laps the race distance, 78-degree ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy skies, a 2-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature also down 78 degrees, nice and cool. Provide handling and quick lap times here tonight. Drivers with a full fuel load at 100%, unlimited tire sets available over the wall, so no issue there. Only the decision, 2 tires or 4, or maybe even none. We'll see if it comes down to that. Again, 150 laps the distance, 1 fast repair tonight, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if necessary. Again, practice just about wrapped up here officially, a 1-hour session. It looks like everyone is parked in pit lane for the time being here. Drivers meeting underway. We're going to take a very short break. We'll be back with qualifying here in just a moment, so stay with us.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway, qualifying about to get underway. Looks like Vincent Short will be the first driver to roll out onto the speedway. Short on the clock, down the back straightaway here. Looked like a pretty smooth lap. First lap for Short, 21.979. Bobby Jr. goes P2, 22.054. We'll see if lap 2 yields a faster lap. Short still top of the board as he works halfway through his second lap. Again, a smooth-looking lap. Clean. 21.983, a little bit quicker, but Bobby Jr. goes faster. 21.918 for the 25 on his second trip around, so he sits provisional pole for the time being. 49 at Dominic Bettini. Oh, real loose off of 4. That's a tricky place there. Exit of turn 4 here at Richmond. You got to be real gentle on throttle. Worst place for it to happen for Dominic there is he's getting out of turn 4 on his first lap, so that's going to hurt his first lap, but also slows his second lap because he's not at full song at start-finish, so this is going to be a tough one for the 49. Loose again. Meanwhile, Will Hewitt goes to the point on his second lap at 21.785. Slick lap for the 33. Derek Welch takes the green, first lap for the 21. Will Hewitt, top time so far, 21.785. Welch, first lap, 11th quick with a 3.83, 22.383, a little loose off turn 2. And DW goes third quick on lap 2, 21.925. Good solid lap there for the one. Albert Anderson in the number 99. A little lift there off turn number 2. Truck stepped out just a bit. Lap 2, fourth quick, 21.942 for Albert Anderson. Locks him into the top 5, at least for the time being. Nobody else on the track right now. Minute and a half left in the session. We've still got 6 or 8 trucks here that need to lock in a time. A couple maybe have taken an attempt here, but it didn't work out to their liking. Here comes the 9 of Rodney Roberts. Provisional pole still is at 21.785. No one else really close. Hewitt a full 10th faster than P2. Fourth quick on the first lap at 21.926. We'll see if Rodney can back it up with a pole lap here. Looking good so far. "15 seconds left in the session. Let's see if he can get back to the line in time. I think he will. Real good exit out of turn 4. Cross start finish. Fourth quick, 21.010. That might do it here. I think that's going to wrap it up, and indeed it does. So qualifying in the books, it appears Will Hewitt going to be our pole sitter here with a lap time of 21.79. Well, let's get to it. We'll take a look here at our starting grid. On the pole position, as we just mentioned here, the 33 with a lap time of 21.785 seconds. It's Will Hewitt. Outside front row from Bobby Hamilton Racing. Missed it by just under a tenth and a half. It's the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Row 2, it's DW, Derek Welch, and Rodney Roberts in the 9. Row number 3 belongs to Albert Anderson and Vincent Short. Row 4, it's Keenan Kimber in the 65, and Cole Dansley in the 86 starts in the 8th spot. Row 5, Steve Whitmore and Will Jones. Starting 11th, it's the 50 of Jason Steptoe and Dominic Bettini. Peyton Wagoner in the 8 starts 13th. 14th is Mark Collins. 15th starter is Aaron Longworth. Chris Hockley in the 3. 16th. 17th starter, it's Thomas McMullen. Mark Truxell in the 5 from HLC Motorsports will start in the 18th position. Eddie Rose will start 19th. Alan DeFries 20th. 21st starter, it's Matt Nicholson, and 22nd belongs to the 56 Stinger Motorsports entry of Josh Ingram. It's your starting grid here from Richmond Raceway. Field all lined up here at start-finish, getting ready to roll on one of, I believe, 2 pace laps before we get this race underway for 150 laps. Again, race details, we talked about it a moment ago. 150 laps the race distance, 78-degree ambient temperature, 48% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze at the present. Track temperature 78 degrees, a full fuel load on board, unlimited tire sets over the wall. 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. Away from start finish. Lights are off on the pace car, but usually we go 2 laps. We'll see if that pace car makes that left turn to pit lane. If so, well, we're going to go racing. Nope. Stays out. One more trip around here. And that's kind of the norm here with the short tracks. They'll go 2 laps before we get the race underway, especially on instances where they've got a larger field. You've got to try and get everybody lined up where they need to be, double file in the right spots. Smaller racetracks sometimes on that formation lap, it can be a bit of a challenge. They go 2 laps instead of the normal 1 that we see on the bigger tracks. Will Hewitt, Bobby Hamilton Jr. to bring him down to the line here to get this race underway. Pace car makes the left turn into pit lane. Green flag is in the air. We're racing from Richmond, Virginia. The gate, Bobby Jr. goes to the top of the board, and we got trouble already. The 65, I think that's Keenan Kimber, indeed it was, is around and straightens it out, though we stay green. The 65 will go to the tail of the field. Does not hit anything, so no need for the caution. Back out front, though, as we said, Bobby Jr. quickly to the point here. Leads lap 1, is going to lead lap number 2. And it looks like trouble for Will Jones off turn 4 as he's going a little bit off-road here through the grass. Will Jones in trouble off turn number 4, gathers it back up. Have to get a look at that here. In fact, we'll take a look right now. just a moment ago. The 46 here, Will Jones, just on the power a little bit early. I don't think he got hit by anybody. Does he kiss the wall here? Wow, great job by Will Jones to keep that truck out of the barrier. Gathers it back up. Unfortunately, he's going to have a much more work to do before this one is over. He is currently in 22nd, last truck on the lead lap, while Bobby Jr. out in front, almost a full second ahead of second place Will Hewitt, our pole sitter. Battle for position. This is for the fourth spot. Vincent Short, Rodney Roberts. Short in the gray and blue, number 15. Rodney Roberts in the yellow and black, number 9. Derek Welch running in the third spot, just ahead of the 15 of Vincent Short. Now, Short is up 2 positions from the drop of the green flag, so he's in that 4th position. Albert Anderson now up a lane here with the 49 of Bettini to the inside. This now out of turn number 4. Meanwhile, Josh Ingram's going to roll to pit lane here. Not sure if there was a penalty involved here or if Ingram has a different problem, but we'll stay on this battle for position. This for the 7th spot. Bettini to the inside in the black and yellow, number 49. Albert Anderson in the Country Time Lemonade, number 99. Bettini can't get the power down off turn 4. See the truck turn hard left. Still maintains his position to the inside of Anderson. Watching the timing and scoring here, it looks like Will Hewitt starting to reel Bobby Jr. in. It was almost a full second just a few laps ago. Now it's down to under 7/10. We'll go check on that here in a minute. We're going to continue to watch this fight here for the 7th spot. Bettini tucks back in behind Anderson. Aaron Longworth in a battle here with the 50 of Jason Steptoe. Steptoe to the outside in the U.S. Air Force Silverado. It's the battle for the 13th position with Peyton Wagoner in the 15th spot. The number 8 truck in behind, trying to make a decision which way he wants to go. Interval up front between Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Will Hewitt has somewhat stabilized, just over 0.6 of a second. Meanwhile, Wagoner has gone around the 42, picks up a spot. Now Alan DeFries poking his nose to the inside, looking for a spot. It's the 42. Longworth loses connection for a moment. Meanwhile, the 65 of Keenan Kimber, after his first lap semi-spin through the Trialville grass, starting to work his way back through, up into the 16th spot. If he can get clear of the 71. DeFries going to battle back to the outside, try to at least hang on to that position. And Wagoner just up ahead here, a little loose, saves the truck, doesn't get around or anything, but now scrapes the right side of it on the safer barrier. Checking on the leaders again here. Will Hewitt has reeled Bobby Jr. in. The deficit now under a half second. We'll ride on board with Will Hewitt as he tries to reel in Bobby Jr. a little bit more. Take that top spot back that Hewitt started with from pole position. Last lap for Bobby Jr. about a half-tenth slower than Will Hewitt. 22.61 to Will Hewitt's 22.55. Got to think, though, Bobby's in a situation here where he's just trying to take care of the tire. I know they have unlimited sets, but the longer you can make them last, the better. Talked about that a lot here. Usually those first 10, 12 laps and how you take care of those tires really determine how beneficial they're going to be later on in the run. As you see, Bobby steps out just a bit, rear of the truck, coming out of the racetrack a little off turn number 2. Will Hewitt with two lubrication sponsorships, let's just say that much. Amsoil on the rear quarters, Astroglide on the hood. Pretty slick, I do say so myself. "20 laps in the books. Bobby Jr. has led them all to this point, but Will Hewitt closing the gap now about a quarter second into turn 1, and right there, truck length off the tailgate of the 25 as he work out of turn number 2. Peyton Wagoner now starting to come to the leaders here. May lose the lap here momentarily. Not sure if Wagoner had an issue. It looks like he may have. Let's take a look at that quickly here before we have a real fight for the race lead. Yeah, Wagoner loses it. This was out of turn 4. Locks her down. Doesn't hit anything. Stays out of major trouble, but loses a ton of track position. And is going to lose a lap here, I'd say, in the next handful. Will Hewitt was able to run down Bobby Jr., but switches up lanes, goes top of the racetrack, now gives the bottom to Will Hewitt. Pinches the 33 down on the low lane here. I think Bobby may have been anticipating the 8. It's being a little bit in the way for Will Hewitt. They have not been able to get around Wagoner at this point, but again, I don't think it'll be long. Bobby changing lanes again, throwing some blocks here. From the blimp now, coming to lap 25. Gotta wonder if Will is willing to stick his nose there to the bottom, even with the blocks coming from the 25. I know it's really early here. I just don't know how exuberant Will Hewitt is going to be at this stage of the game, but now he's got Derek Welch reeling him in, so he's got to get going here. Hewitt back to the bottom of the racetrack, now alongside Bobby Jr. Bobby with the run out of turn 2 is able to drive away just a bit. Truck length plus back to the 33. Still riding in the tire tracks of Peyton Wagoner. So Bobby Jr. gets to the bottom of the 8. He's going to put Wagoner a lap down here. Now it's Will Hewitt's turn to try and get through. Last laps for the leaders here. Bobby Jr. about a tenth quicker than Hewitt as they work through some lap traffic. Bobby still faster by a tenth. Derek Welch matching the time of Will Hewitt by about 200. It's pretty close. Quickly, the laps are ticking by. 29 complete just about as they work down the back straightaway. Bobby Hamilton Jr. has led them all to this point. So now that Will Hewitt has gotten there, doesn't quite seem to have the same pace that he did on his way back to the front. Has not been able to get around Bobby Hamilton Jr. Put his nose alongside there for a lap or so. Deficit just under 2/10. Closes the gap considerably there in the middle of 3 and 4 as Bobby's up the track. Hewitt still running in the tire tracks of the 25. But maybe we're seeing a kindler and gentler Will Hewitt here, taking care of his equipment, not pushing the issue, again, knowing that it's very early in this race. We're only about 1/5 of the way through. On board with Bobby Jr. Hewitt steps out, takes a look to the inside, but has to jump on the binders. Board now with Will Hewitt. See what it looks like from his perspective. Frustration got to be building for the 33. I think Will feels like he's a little bit quicker. Last lap he was, only by about 100th, but it's hard to be quicker if you can't get by the slower truck. Right now, that seems to be the 25 of Bobby Jr. Bobby really controlling the pace of this field right now. And there we go, Hewitt to the inside. Will gets the pass done. Kind of forces his way in. Did it relatively clean, though. Maybe a little bit of contact, but it didn't look bad. Nicely done by Will Hewitt. So new leader, our pole sitter, the 33. Bobby Jr. now back to second. As they run into some more lap traffic. It's like the 88 here of Eddie Rose. Eddie goes topside, stays reasonably out of the way. Derek Welch running third. Vincent Short still fourth. Bobby way up the track, puts the right side in the barrier. Derek Welch starting to reel in the 25. Truck length or two off, and then Bobby's going to pull the pit lane here. I don't know if this is a scheduled stop for the 25. We are 38 laps in, full fuel load. I think it's a little premature for fuel. We'll see what happens here with the 25. So Bobby into his pit stall. Does he stay in the truck? No, he steps out. They're going to bolt on some tires here, but Bobby might be done for the evening for reasons unknown. Meanwhile, still out front now. It's the 33 of Will Hewitt. Derek Welch, 1.3 seconds in the rears. 40 laps complete here from Richmond Raceway.
Caution.
And caution comes out.
Quickly tell me about your car if you can.
Competition caution here at the end of lap 40. Got CR Garage in the chat, says people just don't get how quick these trucks can get loose. It's been a while since I've been in the cockpit of one, but you're absolutely right. I haven't driven them, honestly, since the tire update, which has been a while. But under caution, first time tonight. Planned caution, competition related here, as the field will get an opportunity to come to pit lane. So Hewitt in the pit box. Likely to see a 4-tire change for just about everybody up and down pit lane. Of course, fuel going in these trucks as well. Drops the jack. Will Hewitt heads back out. Peyton Wagoner, though, stays out on the racetrack. He's going to pick up the lead here, I believe. Likely just trying to get a lap led. You'll see him come to pit lane likely the next time by. And Frank Griffith in the chat bringing up a fun fact. Says, congratulations on the 1,000 subs. Frank, I appreciate the mention there. I don't know if it does anything for us. I don't think it does, but I guess it's cool for the bragging rights. We appreciate all the support from you guys, so thanks for mentioning that. So Wagoner's going to come to pit lane here. So 44 laps in. First round of pit stops in the books. Pace car lights are out, so we are on the 1 to go. We'll be back racing the next time by. Front row is going to be Will Hewitt and DW Derek Welch, then Rodney Roberts, Albert Anderson, Vincent Short, Steve Whitmore. Some hot shoes here at the front of the field. Pace car hits pit road.
Green flag.
On a turn 4, Will Hewitt handily leads lap on the restart, and Dominic Bettini goes around.
What do you think, bud? You think
Yellow
you're all right
comes
out
out here just as soon as we got underway. The 49, low air pressure on these fresh tires, loses it off turn 4. Dominic Bettini, let's see what happened here to the 49. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Got loose off of 4, but let's take a look. Just got back to the power. Down it went. Nothing to feel bad about. We've seen it happen 2 or 3 other times already tonight from others. It's not hard to do. So just about a third distance here at Richmond. Will Hewitt's going to be the leader here. Rodney Roberts second. Got around Derek Welch there before the yellow. Then Welch is third. Anderson fourth. Vincent Short fifth. Right behind the pace car. We'll try this again here. Get a restart for another time. Second caution. First for cause. So lap 50 has officially gone up on the board here. We're still behind the iRacing pace car. And there we go. 1 to go here from Richmond. One to go to green, 100 to go to checkered. Pace car is in. Front row, Will Hewitt, Rodney Roberts.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Hewitt on the jump. Hewitt with a truck length on the 9 out of turn number 2. The battle is going to be for second for the time being. Derek Welch about a truck length as well in the rears, but closes the gap into turn 3. Gets awful close here in the middle of 4. Has the run on exit. Looks like Roberts had a little bit more momentum down the main straightaway.
Caution's out.
And yellow again. We've got trouble
man,
on the
Mike.
speedway. Not
Sounds like a little
sure.
far away
And there
from
we
your
go.
mouth.
Chris
Double check
Hockley
that for us, please.
down the backstretch. Looks like the Aaron Longworth machine. Also, maybe Eddie Rose in trouble as well here. So caution number 3 on the speedway. Let's get a look at see what happened here to put us under the yellow for the 3rd time today. May have happened ahead of the 42. No, 2 separate incidents it appears. Longworth just loses it on his own. Eddie Rose might have been part of that as well. Eddie was just trying to save the truck himself. I don't know if he got distracted by the Longworth machine, but he goes around. Chris Hockley with his own problems. Let's see what happened here to the 3 just a moment ago. The 65 clips him. So really 3 separate incidents all at the same time on the backstretch here at Richmond puts us under yellow for the 3rd time tonight. Keenan Kimmer to a stop in his pit box. So we'll line them up and try it again here. Front row is still going to be the same here. Will Hewitt, Rodney Roberts. Then row 2, Derek Welch, Albert Anderson. Row 3, it's going to be Vincent Short, Steve Whitmore. Row 4, Cole Ansley, Will Jones. Row 5, Thomas McMullen and Mark Truxell. Pace car is in. Wait for the green flag.
Green flag.
There it is. Green is in the air. Will Hewitt on the jump again. Battle's going to be for second. Welch takes a look to the inside on Rodney Roberts into turn one. They both drive it in deep. So does Albert Anderson around the outside of Vincent Short. Steve Whitmore in the 70 in the mix as well. Still the battle for second rages. Rodney Roberts still on the outside of Derek Welch. Welch to the bottom and the number 21. It'll show the 1 in the timing tower. Different paint scheme on that truck here tonight.
Caution.
And caution on the speedway yet again.
Get yourself something to drink. Get a deep breath.
Not sure if it was Bettini again. He has quickly gone to pit lane. I believe that was the case. Let's take a look. Yeah, there again, same thing. We seem to do almost the exact same spin off of turn 4. Not that long ago on the restart, but he goes right to pit lane. So caution number 4, lap 61 here at Richmond. So while we have the opportunity here, we're going to go through the line here. Will Hewitt, your race leader. Then it's Rodney Roberts, Derek Welch, Albert Anderson 4th, Vincent Short 5th, Steve Whitmore looks like 6th, Cole Ansley, Will Jones, Thomas McMullen, Peyton Wagoner the top 10. Then 11th is Mark Truxell, Matt Nicholson 12th, Chris Hockley 13th, Mark Collins 14th, Jason Steptoe 15th, Aaron Longworth 16th, and 17th, the last truck on the lead lap, is Josh Ingram. Further down the line, looks like Alan DeFries, Keenan Kimber, Eddie Rose, Dominic Bettini, Bobby Hamilton Jr., who appears to be out of this race, will finish in the 22nd position. Still pacing around the pace car here, coming to start finish, likely to be the one to go signal as they cross the line. And no, actually we stay under caution here. Pace car light's still on, so one more time around. Maybe we'll see a one to go then. So field back to the line. Let's see, do we get these lights to go out? Yes, so we're now on the one to go. We'll get the restart here, lap 65. Still not quite halfway. We're getting there. We got Chris Gomes in the chat, says, truck's looking loose tonight. On low air pressure, it seems definitely. We've seen a lot of these trucks, especially out of turn 4, putting the power down. Getting up out of the corner has been an issue for some of the drivers, especially if they can't open up the wheel. Now, with these additional cautions, we might be able to get to the end without fuel. We'll see, but we got to see. Green flag in the air. Hewitt back to the gas. Rodney Roberts, a pretty good reaction time there on the 33. This field barrels down into turn 1. Hewitt takes the low lane. Roberts with a run, looks to the outside. Off turn number 2, everybody looks clean and green for now. We'll see if that stays the same through turn 4, but Roberts still working the outside, wants to sniff that race lead. Still side by side for the top spot. Keeps Will Hewitt pinned down at the stripe. Looks like Roberts led the lap. Still side by side for the top spot here at Richmond. Hewitt to the bottom of the racetrack. Roberts in the 9, still top side. Hewitt still can't clear, can't open up the wheel. Little wiggle for Roberts. Thought Hewitt was going to come all the way up. Now it's going to open the door for Derek Welch for the second spot. Roberts very close to the wall, but loses the position. DW now up into second. Albert Anderson sniffing the bottom of the racetrack here, trying to take the third spot now from Roberts. Man, Roberts was shot out of a cannon there at the restart. Thought he had a shot at the race lead, and oh, Albert Anderson gets in the back of Roberts. Roberts chases it up the racetrack, saves it. Little bit of contact with Steve Whitmore, but we stay green. So Anderson will jump into the third spot here with contact with Rodney Roberts. Roberts did a masterful job saving that truck and the rest of the field for that matter, but now the caution is out again. Steve Whitmore after contact looks like he is in trouble. You saw Roberts trying to save the truck. It's up into the 70. Maybe some damage on that left front from that, likely the result. Whitmore having trouble off of 4. Let's take a look. It's tough to say. It's very tough to say. It could have been a result of the contact there. Again, Whitmore certainly showing some damage on that truck from the contact with Roberts. But because we've seen so many other drivers have a very similar incident there off of turn number 4, it's hard to really distinguish if it's because of that or not. Nevertheless, caution comes out either way. 70 laps in, our 5th caution of the night. Some drivers opting to pit here, some deciding not. Appears the top 8 stayed out on the racetrack. CR Garage says maybe some oil on the track. I don't know. It's hard to say. I do remember my early days in iRacing struggling mightily here at Richmond out of turn number 4, and it was very much the same. Trying to put the power down on the exit of 4, and the back end just wants to step out, and that's who knows how many tire models ago. But it's not an uncommon occurrence through all those tire models over the last handful of years. It's really not changed a whole lot. It's reasonably accurate. I don't know from personal experience, but it's not the first time I've seen a race vehicle, car, or a truck put the power down on the exit of turn 4 at Richmond and come around. Seen it a handful of times here tonight for sure. Frank Griffith says no, it's Hewitt's sponsor. Could be either one, really. One's petroleum based, one's not. You get the idea. All right. Field out of 2. Half a lap away from the restart. We'll get it at lap 74. Car is in.
Green flag.
And green back in the air. Battle's going to be for second once again. Now it's DW and Albert Anderson. Anderson on the bottom. Anderson takes the spot handily. Doesn't even really put up much of a fight, does Derek Welch. Now to the outside. Vincent Short fighting with more so. The 46 of Will Jones. That's 4 position. Looks like the 4th spot. Josh Ingram in trouble. Slow on the backstretch. damage on that number 56, but he continues on. We'll go back up front here, watch these battles. Short, going to lose that fight there to Will Jones. Jones clears the 15, move him up into the 4th spot from 10th. 75 laps in the books as they come back to start-finish. We are officially halfway with another driver around the 55 of Matt Nicholson in trouble. Cautions breed cautions. That's the Ingram incident. That did not put us under caution. Let's see what happened here with the 55. Did put us under yellow. This loses it. It's almost the exact same spot on the racetrack every time. We've seen that 5 or 6 times tonight. The same spot. Low lane on exit, just trying to put the power down. So now Will Hewitt is going to pit here as the race leader. Will now comfortable that he can make it to the end on fuel, even if we do throw in a green-white checkered or 2, or 3. At this rate, it might be 3. Looks like 4 tires and fuel for Will Hewitt. Vincent Short, however, made a stop here in 9.03 seconds. That's either fuel only or rights only. So that puts us on the 1 to go. 81, lap 81 will be the restart here. Next time by, Albert Anderson, Derek Welch on the front row. Row 2 will be Wagoner and McMullen. 3, Rodney Roberts and Mark Collins. Row 4, Alan DeFries, Aaron Longworth. Row 5, it's Steptoe and Truxell. Car is in.
Green flag.
Flag back in the air. Albert Anderson now on the jump. DW tucks into that second spot. A good reaction for him as well. Battle behind him. Peyton Wagoner, who was in the tail end of the field early on in this race, now comfortably in the top 5. Battling for the 3rd spot with Thomas McMullen. Gets clear of the 0-2. Now McMullen trying to hold on to that spot with the 9 of Rodney Roberts to the outside. One truck through the grass. It's Vincent Short. They're worried that he didn't take tires or maybe took rights only. It's only going to make that truck looser, and that might have been the case. So Short able to save it enough to keep the caution from coming out, but slides all the way back to the 18th spot. Roberts and McMullen still doing battle. McMullen's going to tuck in behind, slips back to the 5th spot. With that, it's time. We're going to step aside, get a track limits side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway, working caution number 7. You saw it there in the side-by-side. We'll go back here and take a second look at it again. We had 4 trucks involved. Seem to be 2 different incidents, but they kind of relate here. Let's go take another look. A little bit slower here, though. Watch the blimp. You'll see 1 truck ahead that spins off. That's going to be the 55 of Nicholson. So we'll back it up a little, unpack this whole thing here. So you watch the 55. Nicholson loses it unassisted. So he starts to go around, but then Longworth, I don't know if he's reacting or overreacting or if he had a different problem all on his own, but then it's just kind of chain reaction from there. Longworth spins, Vincent Short trying to go to the outside best he can, but Whitmore is there, and then they wreck as well. So caution number 7, 92 laps complete here at Richmond. On the one to go, it's going to be Anderson and Roberts on the front row. Then McMullen, Hewitt, Jones, Hockley, Wagoner, Truxell, Collins, and Kimper, the top 10.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Anderson on the jump gets the advantage at start-finish up ahead of Rodney Roberts.
Caution,
And
caution.
caution out again. This time
Like
the
approaching
86
tank
of
or
Cole
bar or
Ansley in
anything like that.
trouble. Looks like Steptoe was involved in this as well. Maybe two different incidents. We'll take a look. Well, here he wide into turn 3, I believe. Ansley turns down, gets into the 50, and then Short comes up and gets into the 50. So the pinball is the 50 of Steptoe. Looks like Colt gets the rawest end of the deal. So with that, we're going to step aside here, get another break out of the way. We'll be back with the restart after this.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Richmond Raceway. Get the restart here the next time by, lap 99. Just about 2/3 of the way through. Pace car makes the left turn.
Green flag.
Anderson on the gas again. Roberts unable to drop down in front of McMullen. Now might have an opportunity if it wants that arc into turn number 1. Now Roberts with a big run out of turn number 2. Some contact with Wagoner in the back of the pack. Gets everybody stacked up. We're 3 wide into turn 3. Short on the bottom. Wagoner in the middle, and Wagoner's going to lose it. No, he stays into it, but no, Steptoe drives into the back, and the caution's out again.
Position. I know, man. I think we need to start putting like an age limit on racing or something, you know?
Well, let's get another look at it. They were 3 wide, and I don't know if this was initiated with some contact. We're going to back it up a little further here. Man, they were awful close, but I don't think they rubbed doors at all. They start to separate here. Wagoner goes up the track, starts to step out on him. But then the 50th Steptoe is going to drive right into the back. I just don't know if he didn't see that Wagoner had his issue, because it seemed like Steptoe was just getting out of the corner like the 8 wasn't even there. Which, through maybe some connection issues, that can happen. But there you have it. 9th caution of the night. We're going to step aside one more time. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Back at Richmond Raceway, getting ready for the restart again here. Lap 105 coming up next. Rodney Roberts now the race leader, with pole sitter Will Hewitt restarting to the outside. We'll see if the 33's got anything for Roberts. Roberts on the gas. Decent reaction by Will Hewitt, but he's got Will Jones to the inside. That's going to be hard to deal with. Jones gets clear off of turn number 2, slots up in front of Will Hewitt. Jones now going to start hunting the 9 of Roberts. We'll see if the 46 got anything for him. Will Jones right to the tailgate of the 9. Now out of turn number 2, opens up the wheel a little bit more than Roberts on exit. Right there, half a truck length off the back bumper. Will Jones with 2 wins on the season. I'm sorry, 1 win on the season to this point. Won a preseason race at Richmond earlier on. Jones's last win coming back in late January. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now Will Hewitt looking to the outside, wants that second spot. He's there. On to turn number 2, drives to the outside of the 46. battle still rages for the second spot. Jones gets clear. Hewitt's going to have to tuck back in as Hockley in the 3 starts to close the gap. Hockley 4th, Whitmer 5th. Roberts is checked out here, just over a half-second advantage back to the 46 of Will Jones. 40 laps to go here from Richmond Raceway. Top 4 drivers made their pit stops, primarily Rodney Roberts at lap 70. Will Jones was lap 77, so was Will Hewitt. Chris Hockley 78. Further down the line, though, Steve Whitmore lap 90. Same for Mark Truxell. Same for Keenan Kimber. Albert Anderson, lap 101. Freshest tires in the field. Freshest tires within the top 10 right now. Thomas McMullen matching that lap as far as his pit stop was concerned. We'll have to keep a close eye on Anderson if he can utilize those fresh tires and work towards the front. It's running out of time if that's the plan. Roberts still the lead. 3/10 and shrinking, though, as Will Jones closes the gap. And Jones takes a look to the inside in turn 3. He's there, makes some contact, just gentle contact. Touches the 9 a bit in the middle of the corner, but Roberts puts the power back down. Now Will Hewitt is starting to attack the 46 for the second spot. Jones up the racetrack, Hewitt to the bottom. I think both of these drivers have a little bit more pace than Roberts right now with the 7-lap pressure tires. They're a couple of tenths quicker than Roberts that last time, specifically Will Hewitt. Hewitt still trying to hold off Jones as he finally gets clear. Jones crosses over, looks to the bottom of the racetrack, wants to take that spot back. Now they're side by side for second again. Switching lanes, Jones on the bottom, Hewitt up top. Big wiggle by Hewitt and Rodney Roberts both out of turn number 2. Jones gets in there hard, gets into Roberts, slips up the track, gets into Hewitt. Everybody hangs onto it for now, and no, they wrap it up here in turn 4. Caution's out.
How are you doing, bud?
Gonna be some hurt feelings on that one, I think. So through that exchange, it looks like Will Jones is going to take the race lead. We'll go back and look at this. It's already involved here. We'll back it up a little further. So I'm going to take it all the way to turn 2 because that's really where this all started, it looked. So the 9 and the 33 lose the back end kind of at the same time here. More so Roberts. So that breaks the momentum on Roberts significantly here. Now watch this getting into turn 3. Jones is going to drive it in his normal way here, and I think because Roberts is off the pace, he still hits his brakes at the normal point he would have, but he didn't carry the same amount of speed into the turn number 3 there, which is what results in Jones getting into the back of Roberts. Roberts comes up the track, scrapes Will Hewitt a bit. Hewitt lucky to get through. Hockley's going to get into Roberts here. And then Whitmore gets collected, and then so on and so on and so on. Roberts is going to get a big piece of the end of the pit wall here. That's a tough hit for the 9. Cole Ansley, it looks like, gets into the back of Albert Anderson here. Now, everybody took some damage here, but it doesn't look, at least visually, body panel-wise, significant. Now, interesting turn of events here as well. Anderson and Welch both stay out of the racetrack. Now, remember, we talked about them making a pit stop around lap 101. That's the same case for Anderson and Derek Welch, but everybody else behind the leaders now hit pit lane here. Will Hewitt, Will Jones, Truxell, Kimber, Ansley, McMullen, DeFries, Short. That's the top 10. Really, everybody else on the lead lap did the same, and it appears everybody bolted on fresh tires. So this is going to be the question. The top 2 hold those guys off on newer rubber all the way to the end of this. And I'm going to say it right now, I don't think so, especially as fast as Will Hewitt has been all night long. only 7-lap newer tires than the leader, Rodney Roberts, at the time, and they were really cutting into that 9's lead. Now we're talking 16 laps difference. So pace car lights are out. We'll get the restart with 30 to go. Fuel certainly not a question for anybody. Anderson Welch going to take him back to the restart. Green flag in the air. Anderson on the throttle, gets out in front of Welch. Battle again for the second spot. Will Hewitt to the inside of DW into turn number 1. Hewitt on the attack already. Gets a nose alongside Anderson. Now down into turn 3 for the race lead. And the caution is out. I don't know if Hewitt got there in time or not, but Steve Whitmore in trouble again. The 70 is around off 2. Don't know if Hewitt got around Anderson in time to take that top spot. So honestly, I think it's almost a worse place to restart in second than third, but we'll cover that here in a moment. Let's get to the actual incident here with the 70. Second caution tonight we've seen with Whitmore. The 50, a step toe. Rear end steps out. He's trying to correct it up the racetrack in front of the path of Whitmore. Whitmore just jumps on the brakes, trying not to hit him. No good deed goes unpunished. Whitmore jumping on the brakes to avoid running over the 50. He gets spun around backwards and loses track position, putting us under the caution. Whitmore, nothing to lose here. He's going to come down and pit. He's his last truck on the lead lap. Might as well put on some new tires again. So it looks like we'll get the restart here with 25 or 26 to go. Josh Ingram parked on the back straightaway. Not sure the situation there with the 56. Sitting idle on the backstretch. Starts to roll now. So back to the front of the field here. Pace car is going to cross start finish. Should kick off those amber lights atop the pace car. There they go. They're off. So we'll get the restart here next time by. 25 laps to go. It's going to be Anderson and Will Hewitt, then Will Jones and DW Derek Welch, Keenan Kimber, Cole Ansley, Thomas McMullen, Mark Truxell, Vincent Short, Alan DeFries. Money's on the 33 here. Newer tires for Will Hewitt by about 16 laps over Albert Anderson. Going to need to nail this restart though, because Will Jones is going to be on the attack. Honestly, that third restart position, probably the best place to be if you're not the race leader. Hammers the gas, does Albert Anderson. He's up there, changes lanes before start finish. Not sure if that's a rule here or not, but they're going to split him here. 3 wide for the lead down into turn number 1. Who's going to lift? Nobody. Caution's out though. Another incident here into turn number 1. Derek Welch gets tied up in this. Caution number 12 here at Richmond. And Welch trying to hang on to it again. Let's get a look at see what happened here on the restart. Welch tried to turn down, but Colt Ansley was there. Subsequently clips the 65 of Kimber. McMullen gets into it. Short, almost into it, drives through. Eddie Rose in late, gets to the back of the 86. Things are getting dicey here at Richmond. So it looks like Will Jones was the leader at the time of caution. At least he's credited with that for now. Then it's Anderson, then it's Hewitt. So this is going to give Hewitt the advantage, at least for those outside of that top spot. With that, though, we're going to step aside yet again. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back at Richmond Raceway, ready for the restart. The pace car heads to pit road. Will Jones on the gas right away. The battle again going to be for second. Will Hewitt jumps to the inside of Albert Anderson. 20 laps to go. Anderson tries to get to the power around the outside of Hewitt. Can't really get there with those older tires. Top two with fresher rubber underneath him. Hewitt drives it way deep into 3 and 4, closes the gap within half a truck length off Will Jones. On to turn 4, back to the stripe, 18 laps to go. 19 laps to go. Little wiggle from the 33 off of turn number 2. Truxell now up to the 3rd spot. Then DeFries, Short, Longworth, Nicholson, Wagoner, Anderson, Whitmore, the top 10. Now it's 18 to go as Will Hewitt scrapes the right side on the wall at start-finish. Keeps his foot in it, still less than 3/10 off the back bumper of Will Jones.
Caution.
And a caution on the speedway. Whitmore again around. Caution number 13 here at Richmond. Take a look. 55 gets in the fence. Wagoner tries to avoid. Slots down in front of Whitmore. I think Whitmore just late on the brakes compared to the 8. Doesn't send Wagoner anywhere, but Whitmore just spins around. But nevertheless, it's in front of traffic. Caution comes out. So we'll go through the order here while we can. 16 laps to go. It's Will Jones, Will Hewitt, Mark Truxell, the top three, then Alan DeFries, Vincent Short in 5th, Aaron Longworth 6th, Nicholson 7th, Wagoner 8th, Albert Anderson 9th, Thomas McMullen 10th. Further on down the line, 11th is Mark Collins, then 12th, Eddie Rose, Chris Hockley 13th, then Steve Whitmore 14th, Colt Ansley 15th, 16th, Dominic Bettini, Jason Steptoe 17th, Derek Welch after the incident 18th, Keenan Kimber 19th, Rodney Roberts shown 20th, Ingram 21st, and Bobby Jr. shown 22nd. Now with 15 laps to go here from Richmond. Pace car lights still ablaze. We should get the restart here with 13 laps to go. Will Jones, Will Hewitt. Going to restart us here. Row 2, it's going to be Truxell and DeFries. Row 3 is Short and Longworth.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Will Jones on the gas. Hewitt maintains that second spot. Alan DeFries not sleeping at all. Oh, but he loses it into turn number 1. Caution on the speedway. Again, big time wreck. Whitmore now finally on his roof. Big time crash for the 70. We'll go back and watch it here. DeFries got the advantage on Truxell into turn number 1. Let's see if there's any contact or he just lost it on his own. Yeah, little wiggle on entry, tank slap, and up the track he goes. Starts to spin. Comes down the track, clips Wagoner just a little bit, and then big time hit for Whitmore. So the top two still Will Jones and Will Hewitt. Then it's going to be Truxell, Vincent Short, Aaron Longworth, Albert Anderson, Peyton Wagoner, Nicholson, Collins, Hockley. That's your new top 10. 10 to go right now. Still not on the 1 to go, so I'm thinking restart with 8 laps remaining. So there we are on the one to go. It's still going to be both the Wills, Will Jones, Will Hewitt on the front row. We'll see if Truxell can take advantage on the restart here. Again, that outside lane on the front row, really the worst place to be because you don't want to beat the leader back to the lines. You really have to wait for the 46 to fire, but it makes you vulnerable to the driver in third just about every time unless you just kind of guess right. Jones on the gas, green in the air. Battle for third, Truxell and Short side by side into one, but Truxell may tuck in. No, drives to the bottom of the racetrack, sticks it alongside. And Anderson slow on the bottom of the racetrack. Is he coming to pit lane? He can't be out of gas unless he's got a penalty and the caution's out again.
But I'll leave this one on you. If you want to stay out, we'll stay out.
Peyton Wagoner in trouble. Wagoner stepped out just a bit, then Collins finished off the deal. Caution number 15. 6 to go. We'll be back after this.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Richmond Raceway, 3 laps to go. It'll be 2 to go when we cross the stripe. We still have opportunity here for a green-white checkered finish, so let's hang on, see what happens here. Front row still both the Wills, Will Jones, Will Hewitt. Jones with the race lead, Hewitt to the outside. Row 2, it's Truxell and Short. Then Longworth and Collins there in row 3. McMullen and Hockley, row 4. Race car is in. Jones fires off, green flag in the air. Three wide behind him, Hockley in the fence. Keeps it going. Jones into 3 and 4, looking for the white flag. There it is, white flag in the air, final lap from Richmond Raceway. Will Jones started in the 10th position, quietly worked his way towards the front, and once he's gotten there, really has not looked back. It's been a little bit of a calamity here at Richmond, but it's all over. 3 and 4 for the final time for Will Jones. Across start finish, he'll take the win. Round 1, race 1 of the playoffs in the books. Will Jones wins it. Very happy Will Jones here at start-finish line celebrating. Smoke show from that number 46 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Parks the Bradford Aero Works machine here at start-finish. We're going to step aside quickly here, get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Richmond Raceway, this one in the books. Round 1, race 1 of the playoffs. Will Jones with the race win here. We'll pull the driver, the number 46, up into the broadcast booth. Get a word with our race winner. Will, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Will, congratulations, man. Win number 2 on the season. Great way to start the playoffs off. Walk us through your race, man. A 10th place starting position, quietly worked your way through this field. Once you got to the point, though, really never looked back. Had to survive a lot of restarts, but how was it from the cockpit of that number 46 machine?
Well, I started 10th, and I actually got in trouble and spun out right by myself on, I think, the second lap, and then went all the way to the back, and I think I drove back up to 10th or 11th or something like that, and we had caution after caution, and I just kind of kept picking them off one at a time, and finally eased up to where I could get a shot at the lead, and I actually got into Robert, which I apologize for that. Was he and I talked, and we agreed that it was a racing incident, but didn't mean to. But anyway, wound up getting up to the front, was able to hold wheel off. So it was a good night for us.
Walking back here to the early stages of the race, you having that incident off of turn 4, drove it through the grass. A great job to keep it out of the fence. Walk us through really what happened there out of turn 4. You certainly weren't the only one to have a problem off of turn 4 getting back to the gas. What happened there?
Yeah, the trucks, I mean, they were so loose. I mean, the truck, it felt like it was kind of skating on the surface the whole night, like it had no bite. I mean, it was just, if you drove in too hard, the front end slid. If you tried to get a good run off the corner, the back end slid. I mean, it was just like the truck wasn't getting down into the racetrack like I needed it to.
Well, with that, you figured it out. You worked your way through the field, drove it to the front, and took this win here tonight. So congratulations at that. We look forward next week to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Certainly a bigger racetrack, a fast racetrack, higher banking, a lot of speed there as well. How do you feel about your chances to pick up maybe another win next week?
Oh, I like Charlotte. I've always seemed to run pretty good there, but it's hard to say. I mean, all these guys in this league are good, and everybody's getting better. Hopefully David Bradford will be back next week. So, I mean, he'll always be, one that you have to beat. But like I say, I think it'll be a good race. There'll be a lot of people that'll be in position to win that race.
All right, well, congratulations again on the win here. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, well, thank you for doing the broadcast, man. I look back at these things, and you do a great job. I want to give a shout-out to David Bradford, my teammate. He's at home battling a sickness and weren't able to join us tonight. So, hopefully he'll get better and be on the mend, and hopefully we can get him back as early as next week. But thank you, and want to thank the fans for watching, and enjoyed it, man. Had a blast.
All right, well, congrats again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week at Charlotte.
Thank you, Steve.
It's Will Jones, your race winner here tonight at Richmond Raceway. We're going to talk to Will Hewitt next. Our pole sitter wasn't able to cap it off here with a race win, but pole, a runner-up finish. Will Hewitt, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yep.
Will, congrats, man. I know it's not what you were looking for. I hear it in your voice as soon as you say hey or yep or whatever it is it's going to be, but I know you wanted that win. You had a fast truck here tonight, of course, put it on pole position, battled there with Bobby Jr. early in the running, ended up taking that lead away, and then just couldn't get it from Will Jones there late. What was the real difference maker here tonight?
I just, couldn't get a green flag run in, to get a rhythm, and that's pretty much, and it just came down to who got to lead first, and just that second half of the race was pretty rough.
Yeah, definitely rough indeed. We really seemed like early in the race we were able to get that long run in. You were able to reel in the 25 and eventually take that lead away. Just didn't come to fruition here tonight, but as much as it stings, second place, not too bad. We look forward to Charlotte. On to the next one next week. How do you feel about your chances on the mile and a half?
I feel pretty good. I expect to win kind of every week, so, hopefully I'll get it done next week.
Pretty confident statement, Will. Good to hear that, man. Congratulations again on the runner-up, man. Who do you want to shout out
to? Just the league for putting races together every week.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck at Charlotte.
Thank you.
It's Will Hewitt, your runner-up. Obviously a little dejected here, not able to pick up that win. I think he's like a lot of us, wanted to see that thing go a little bit longer runs in the late stages of this one, but wasn't meant to be, didn't come down to it, but still a solid second place finish for Will Hewitt. Next, we're going to jump into Vincent Short here. I don't know why it's showing The 46 here for Vincent Short. Ignore the paint scheme there. We'll hide that. Oh, there it is. It's fixed. All right. Pull the driver of the 15, our third place finisher, up into the broadcast booth and get a word with Vincent Short. Vince, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Vince, congratulations, man. Started 6th, finished in the 3rd spot. Fast truck most of the night. Kind of in the hornet's nest for a little while, but drove it back through, managed to keep all the fenders on this thing to a top 3 finish. Walk us through your night.
Start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. I got so bored I decided to mow the grass about halfway into the race and create a challenge for myself.
Well, fair enough. Still, a 3rd place finish is a 3rd place finish, cautions or otherwise. All we can do is move forward to Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. Faster track, a bigger track, more banking. It's going to be a fun one there. How do you feel about your chances at Charlotte?
You should know the expectations I have at Charlotte. I'm pretty strong there, and I just ran last week with a higher level group of guys, and I was pretty fast, so I like my chances if I can stay out of the hornet's nest and stay clean and use good pit strategy.
All right, Vince, well, we look forward to it, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
The way it always works, my wife, Nikki, for supporting me through all this and bringing all the fans into it, my family, my daughters, my kids, and nieces and nephews that are watching out there, friends and family. My main sponsor, Track Bar Media, Track Limits Network, and the Track Bar Media team.
All right, Vince, congrats again, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, sir.
Vincent Short, your 3rd place finisher here at Richmond Raceway. We'll take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3. Will Jones, Will Hewitt, Vincent Short. Those were the top 3. Mark Truxell, a solid run for the 5, finished in the 4th spot. Aaron Longworth came home in the 5th position. 6th went to Thomas McMullen. 7th was Mark Collins. Chris Hockley was 8th. Albert Anderson, a strong run early, finishes in the 9th spot. Cole Dansley rounds out the top 10. Matt Nicholson was 11th. 12th, Dominic Bettini. 13th, Peyton Wagoner. Eddie Rose, 14th. Jason Steptoe, 15th. Steve Whitmore was 16th. 17th place was Alan DeFries. DW Derek Welch, 18th. Keenan Kimber was 19th. 20th place was Josh Ingram. 21st was Rodney Roberts, who had a chance to win this thing but didn't make it. Bobby Hamilton Jr. strong early on out of this one. Early finishes in the 22nd position. That'll wrap it up for us here at Track Limits Network. Congratulations again to Will Jones, wrapping up the first win of the playoffs here at Richmond. Join us next week, guys. Charlotte Motor Speedway, that's going to be a good one, I'm sure. Faster pace, higher banks, a little bit better handling. We'll see. But certainly looking forward to it. Should be a good night. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. Congrats again to Will Jones. We'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks for watching.